trying to create it's a partnership between the Republican National Committee, the Romney campaign, and the Colorado Republican Party, and our local county party organizations, to have a collective effort so that we don't forget our congressmen, so that we don't forget our candidates that are running for the state legislature, and for county commissioner, and from the top of the ticket all the way down. Yes. Oh. Okay. And it's really exciting because this is going to become the heart of our effort right here in Mesa County to help deliver the votes, to organize the volunteers, man the phone banks, set out from here for precinct blocks and neighborhood canvassing efforts to be able to help deliver not just Mesa County, but the state of Colorado. Folks, you all know the Electoral College map. You all understand that Colorado is that pivotal battleground state. The results of our election here could very well decide the outcome of the presidential campaign as well as control for the United States Congress. We have to make sure that we elect Romney as our next president of the United States. We have absolutely seen, especially this in the last couple of days, with unemployment numbers continuing to remain above 8% for 41 straight months under Barack Obama's failed policies. It is remarkable to see the lack of policies that have failed to really address the problems of economic growth and job creation. Despite his many promises, the president continues to fail the American people and to fail the people of Colorado. This victory office right here in Mesa County is one of those, is really the start of our effort to help turn things around in our state. We're really excited and so terribly grateful for all of you for taking the time to come out and join us today, but also for your willingness to be a part of the effort moving forward. Without your help, to connect with the neighbors, friends and neighbors here in your local communities, that's really where the strength of our campaign effort comes, is from all of you. There's going to be a ton of television ads, lots of direct mail, lots of radio, but this election is going to be won or lost based on how well we connect with our individual friends and neighbors, walking those precincts, making those phone calls, talking to the people that we sit next to on the church pew, or the people in line at the grocery store. That individual voter, volunteer contact is what wins elections, especially in a swing state like Colorado. So I want to begin by also thanking all of you who are a part of this effort. And I have to raise the hands of who's some of our precinct committee people who are part of our county party structure. Thank you very much. District Captain, and who of you are willing to donate a little bit of your time and your talents to help man these phone banks, organize these precinct blocks, and be a part of the effort of carrying Colorado? That's right. And not only do we have a tremendous candidate for president that understands the way the private sector works, understands that things are not doing just fine like the president has emerged, that he knows what it takes to get the economy up and running again, the private sector to create jobs, and to be able to restore that great promise of America. Friends, the stakes in the upcoming election are incredibly high. We're talking about really the future of the kind of America we're going to give to our kids and to our grandkids. It's not an understatement to say that this upcoming election was really, in many ways, a referendum on freedom. Just a few days ago, we had the opportunity to celebrate Independence Day, and I hope you all took the opportunity to reflect upon the great sacrifices of our founding fathers and others who have sacrificed so much for the cause of liberty, freedom, and accountable and limited government. We're in that fight today. The fight has not changed. It really falls to every generation, and I think perhaps this generation more than most, to make sure that we're restoring that promise of America and a free and prosperous America to our kids and to our grandkids. So thank you very much. Helping us carry that banner right here in Colorado, in addition to a terrific candidate at the top of the ticket with Governor Romney, we also have exceptional candidates that are running at the local level. Candidates who, in fact, will govern like they promised to on the campaign trail. Men and women of tremendous character, integrity, and ability that I believe are going to inspire our fellow Coloradans with a willingness to support them in the upcoming election. I'd like to recognize just a few of them right now to say a couple of remarks. First, our candidate for district attorney. I'm going to step forward right here.
Apparently no one else wants my job. I don't have an opponent. But I wanted to emphasize just how important this election is with a local example, and an example of how the U.S. Supreme Court impacts us here. 16 years ago, right here in River City, we had a terrible, terrible crime where a young man who was 17 years old and 7 months, under the influence of methamphetamine, went to a house, was in the process of sexually assaulting an 11-year-old girl when her mother walked in on them. He grabbed a baseball bat and bludgeoned the mom to death, then went back into the bedroom and killed the little girl so she couldn't be a witness against him. His name was Burl Mango. I tried the case, I convicted him, a Mesa County judge gave him a sentence of life in prison without parole, pursuant to the laws of the state of Colorado and upheld by the Colorado Supreme Court. I know a lot of people are going to talk about the U.S. Supreme Court in the context of health care, and I'm not going into that. But 2 weeks ago, the U.S. Supreme Court, in their infinite wisdom, decided that that sentence for Burl Mango was cruel and unusual punishment. I had the pleasure of getting to talk to the surviving family members of that little girl and that mother and tell them, geez, I'm really, really sorry, but we're going to have to go back and do it all over again. Thanks to this U.S. Supreme Court and thanks to a majority of Democratic nominees and justices, that's what they're giving us. I think that's a pretty vivid illustration of just how important it is to win this election at the national level, at the state level, and the local level. So please join me in working your tails off to get rid of things like that. Thank you very much.